इनको देखो क्या क्या मिलेगा,
हाँ जी,
क्या मिलेगा खाने में?
खाना जी हमारे पास है येलो दाल है, राजमा,
ओके,
सब्जी,
कड़ी,
कड़ी है, कड़ी,
कड़ी चावल, राजमा
कड़ी
चावल.
After spending 3 complete days exploring the amazing beauty of Kinnaur, namely Raksham, Chitkol and Kalpa, it was time for us to start our journey towards Spiti Valley. We started from Kalpa by 10 in the morning and our next stopover would be at Tabo. Tabo is a long drive from Kalpa, so it was going to be a day-long road trip through the rugged mountains of the Himalayas. Kinnaur and Spiti are 2 separate districts both located in the state of Himachal Pradesh. While Kinnaur is a combination of lush green valleys, apple orchards, colorful meadows, as well as rugged and snow-covered mountains, Spiti has a harsh climate, being a high-altitude cold desert mountain region. So before starting your journey for Spiti, you need to be prepared with proper woolen garments, good trekking shoes, socks, woolen caps and of course medicines in case of high altitude sickness. Preparing for Spiti Valley trip requires a lot of planning and patience. It is most important to gather as much information as possible before actually starting for the journey. Spiti can be reached from Manali side as well, but we recommend you to travel from Shimla side so that you can cover Kinnaur and from there onwards proceed towards Spiti. This helps a lot to get you acclimatized to the increasing altitudes gradually. Secondly, the road trip from Kinnaur to Spiti offers spectacular views. The journey through the Hindustan-Tibet road is a destination in itself. This road has been featured on the History Channel as one of the deadliest roads in the world. The rugged landscape, the sudden turns and curves, the towering mountains, along with their sharp edges, are a sight to behold and a must-see at least once in your lifetime. It must have been so challenging to construct the Hindustan-Tibet road at one of the highest mountain ranges of the world. We drove along the direction of the flow of the Sutlej river. Our driver informed us that we were about to reach the confluence of the Sutlej river and the Spiti river.
ये स्पीति रिवर है और ये सतलुज है।
विपत्तु अभी दिखाई दे रहा है, आएगा अभी. हाँ, they're taking some rest, the bikers.
We stopped for a few minutes at the confluence of the 2 rivers. This junction is also known as the Khab Sangam, named after the village located nearby. Tall mountains flanked both sides of the Sangam. It looked magnificent and mysterious. The roaring rivers were flowing with full zest and energy. If you wanted to talk, then you literally need to shout for the other person to hear.
चाय पीना, पीनी है चाय?
पी लेंगे।
हाँ चलो.
A simple roadside eatery is located right next to the confluence. We went to buy some refreshments and enjoy some hot tea.
दोनों रिवर का कलर अलग अलग है. देखो, स्पीति कलर.
हाँ, दो Oh, different color.
different color.
This is Satlej, this one. That one is Spiti River.
The Satlej and the Spiti rivers gushed into each other. The differences in colors of the two rivers were clearly visible. I kept on gazing while getting pulled and magnetized towards the roaring rivers. Simply amazing.
That
Which
is,
one? You want this?
this one is mango.
This.
Huh.
This is six.
Mixed.
This is the mango. Yeah.
Mango. You want this? The mango. You want mango.
Mango one.
This place looked so stunning that both of us completely forgot that we had a long distance to cover on the same day. We spent a good amount of time here appreciating the grand beauty of Mother Nature. Our journey continued through the rugged mountains of Kinnaur. Our next stop would be at Nako for lunch. The road condition was good and the drive scenic. What more could a traveler want being in the lap of the Himalayas? In between these ruggedness, we found some greenery. The locals here cultivate green peas, so wherever you find some greenery, you know there is a settlement around. We reached Nako village by 1 p.m. Many tempo travelers were parked over here. Nako is a stopover for most travelers. Many even prefer to stay here overnight. We settled down for lunch at a roadside dhaba.
क्या मिलेगा?
हाँ जी
क्या मिलेगा खाने में?
खाना जी हमारे पास है येलो दाल है राजमा
Okay.
सब्जी
कड़ी।
कड़ी है कड़ी
कड़ी चावल, राजमा चावल
हाँ जी
और येलो दाल.
हाँ जी
वो बोले
वो पीछे दे दे पहले
Curry chawal and rajma chawal at Nako.
The hot and freshly made curry chawal and rajma chawal were simple and tasty.
ये ऐसे दिख रहा है ना धनकर जैसा धनकर जैसा धनकर.
This is one of the unique road journeys ever. You get to see so many types of rock formations. On my left, I could see huge clusters of golden and yellow colored rocks. These rocks looked completely different from the rest of the rocks over here. stepped out of the vehicle for 5 minutes to take a look at the gorgeous landscape with the Spiti river flowing beneath. We were about to enter the Spiti valley, as is evident from the board in front. Saying goodbye to Kinnaur, we entered Spiti.
मतलब वो सारे बॉर्डर है
हाँ जी
और हम जा रहे हैं काजा के लिए।
ये है काजा के लिए।
तो ये ऊपर उस साइड
इसमें नहीं जाने देते हैं।
हाँ तो उस साइड है चाइना।
हाँ जी ये पूरा आर्मी एरिया है। अभी जा रहे हैं हम
क्यों बस
ग्यू स्टेट ताबो। अभी हम जाएंगे ग्यू विलेज।
Before going to Tabo, we would be visiting another interesting place, the Gyu village. The Gyu village has a 550-year-old mummy, something so interesting that we couldn't afford to miss it.
मेरा बुकिंग है आज। हम लोग अभी क्यों मेरा 2 रूम है बुकिंग।
तो बाइक का सफर कैसे करो?
Soon we entered the Gyu village. This village is surrounded by a range of colorful mountains. It was very cold and windy outside. Gyu village is an extremely remote village at an altitude of 10,000 feet. I walked towards a white-colored one-room building which is the Gyu monastery and which houses the 550-year-old mummy of Sangha Tenzin, who was a Buddhist monk. Before you enter, you can find a detailed description about the mummy. In 1975, there was an earthquake here, during which 6 stupas in the area got destroyed. In 1981, when the Indo-Tibetan border police were digging their bunkers here, the mummy of Sangha Tenzin was found in one of the stupas. In 2002, a team of experts from Oxford came here to check through carbon dating the age of the mummy, and they found that the mummy had been sitting in this position from 1430 AD, which is almost 600 years now. I knew that mummies would be preserved by the use of some artificial means and wrapped under several layers. But the mummy of Sangha Tenzin sits inside this glass box without any artificial means of preservation, which has also been confirmed by experts. It was overwhelming to see that even his teeth are intact. His hollow eyes seem to look out. It felt as if any moment the mummy of Sangha Tenzin will come alive. In Egypt, bodies are mummified after death, but here the process of self-mummification was used while Sangha Tenzin was alive. It is a Japanese process known as Yamagata, where the living person goes into a process of self-mummification. It is believed that he went through this process to rescue the village from a deadly scorpion. The local people worship the mummy as their living god. We came outside the room and inhaled the fresh air of the Gyu village. This pretty little remote village tucked away at a far corner of Himachal Pradesh near the Indo-Tibet border is such a beauty. Currently, a colorful Japanese-style monastery is being constructed inside the village, and once complete, the mummy of the monk will be shifted here.
ये देखो जूम कर याक की खाल दिख रहे हैं। चलो ये लोग खाते हैं ना, याक खाते हैं, याक पालते भी है, याक खाते भी है।
With multiple thoughts running across my mind, we started from Gyu village for Tabo. Tabo is located at a distance of 40 kilometers from Gyu village. As we traveled back from Gyu village, we found the Gyu river energetically making its way through the rocky terrain. This kind of trips are for people who enjoy nature. You just need to get in sync with the mountain lifestyle, let the nature take over you, forget your problems, and let be guided by Mother Nature. In an hour and a half, we reached Tabo. It was evening by the time we entered Tabo. There are many homestays here. We had booked Zostel homestay online.
Okay. तारा तारा
ग्रीन तारा
ग्रीन तारा ये सब दिखाई नहीं ऑनलाइन में नाम ये दिखा था ना नाम से
यहाँ से वो रास्ता यहीं से है वो रास्ता
हाँ?
यहाँ से नीचे को जोस्टल वो है देखो नीचे
We tried to locate it and then realized that it was set deep in the meadows away from the main road. So from the road, we had to take a tricky walk down uneven paths to finally reach Zostel.
ये हॉस्टल
Zostel is different from the other hotels that we had stayed on this trip before. Footwear had to be kept in the shoe rack outside. They provided slippers for wearing inside their premises.
ठीक है
आपका रूम नंबर 6-7 चाय पियोगे
पियेंगे हमारे लगेज सब पड़ा है ना उधर
तो लड़के गए
लगे गए 6-7 है चलिए और ऊपर
Our room was on the top floor. After a day-long journey, it felt nice to take a break inside this warm and cozy room. But the best part was the terrace outside our room, from where you get the best views of the mountains around. We went downstairs for tea. The in-house restaurant was decorated in local style with traditional Spiti style sitting arrangements.
मटन नहीं है
हाँ, डिनर क्या करेंगे डिसाइड करो।
आप डिनर का ऑर्डर दे दो हम लोगों को बनाने में भी सही
हाँ हाँ, बताइए क्या क्या अवेलेबल है अभी।
ना ना उधर है मेनू
अच्छा, इधर है। अच्छा,
7-11 बजे स्नैक्स और डिनर एक सब बोल दो
हम बोल दो
और स्नैक्स हो जाए तो मुझे बोल
हाँ स्नैक्स में भिजवा दूंगा
डिनर भी आ जाओ ना
हाँ डिनर भी बता दो मैं डिनर की टाइमिंग बता देना उसके हिसाब से हम लगवा देंगे
ये जो है ना
we enjoyed the parathas, paneer and the hot chicken curry for dinner.
to come back once again.
Next day morning, we woke up to the amazing views of Tabo visible from the window of our room. It was going to be another exciting day of exploring Tabo. Join us in our next video to experience Tabo, a quaint little town in the Himalayas with splendid mountains and an ancient monastery.
Pute. Pute. Come. Idhar. Very good, very good.